Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another singles ranking video. Now there's a surprise for you. I have done quite a few of these, but I do actually enjoy doing them. This time it's going to be one of the best singles bands from the late 70s, very early 80s, and that's Blondie. And that's not taken away from their albums, because their albums are actually very good as well. But their singles are something a little bit more special. Now, between 76 and 1982, they had released 17 singles. After 1982, they split up and Debbie Harry went solo. Then they came back together in 1999 and have been releasing albums and singles constantly since. Now, I'm going to do the 17 from 76 to 82. But I thought I'd try and make it up to 20, so I'm going to include the 1999 issues from their No Exit album to make it a nice even 20. Now, their albums in the 21st century are actually quite good, especially The Curse of Blondie and Panic of Girls. I think they're very good albums, but I'm not so sure which ones were actually singles or not, because it was the age of the download and the age of the streaming. So I'm not including, I don't have any of their singles from that time anyway, so I could only show the album. It's only recently from their last album they've released a few 7-inch singles, which I never got because I'm not overly keen on them. So we'll start off with number 20 and my least favourite. Before we start, I'm not going to include any of the remix singles from 1988. This one was, I think, a decent enough sized hit. This is Blondie's Denis 88 remix. Now this is absolutely nothing like the original 7-inch, but I really like this. There's something about this. It's a really good dancey track, but I'm not going to include it. Okay, so starting off with number 20, and it's going to be the second single from No Exit, and that is Nothing Is Real But the Girl. This drives along nicely, but the chorus is not brilliant, and the overall song, even if you play it 3 times in a row, it's hard to remember. It's quite an unforgettable song. It's not bad, but it's nowhere near the best of Blondie, and this one, I believe, was written by Jimmy Destry. Okay, number 19, sorry, and the second single from The Hunter from 1982. And this is War Child, and this is an odd choice of a single. It's a very hard hitting single. I think about the war in Cambodia or something like that there, one of the wars anyway, maybe in the Middle East. But yeah, it's not a bad song, it's just not a great single, and I think 2 other songs from that album would have served better as singles, and that's For Your Eyes Only and Dance Away. I believe Dance Away was a single in different territories. So that's my number 19. And that is War Child. Okay. Number 18. Now, 3 of the singles I don't actually have. Well, I have one, but the 2 B-sides were actually A-sides in their own right. So I'm going to show the one record for 3 different songs. And this is the first time this record pops up. And my number 18, and it's In the Flesh, and it's one of their very first singles. It's a good wee song. It's very 50s influenced. In fact, you could think it had just been lifted out of the 1950s. I enjoy it, I do, but again, it's not one of their best. I don't think they had totally developed their sound by the time this came out, but yeah, it's not bad. In the Flesh is my number 18. Number 17, and their second number 1 hit from 1980. They have 3 number 1 hits in 1980, and that's Call Me. Yeah, I do like this, but again, it's never been one of my favourites. It's co-written with Giorgio Moroder, and it sounds like a Giorgio Moroder song. It's funny how whenever he gets on into the production chair, everything sounds like Giorgio Moroder. He really does know how to put a stamp on a record. Yeah, so Call Me would be my number 17. Number 16, and another early single, and that's Rip Her to Shreds. This is from their debut album. This is, I think this sounds very similar to the Stranglers. I think it's very Stranglers influenced. It's a good song. It's not the catchiest in the world, but it's a grower. I used to not like this at all, but recently it's gone up the charts for me on their singles. So yeah, Ripper Shreds, and that's my number 17. Number 16, and what do we have? That was number 16, sorry. Number 15, I'm going to go with Maria. This is the comeback single in 1999, and it's very new wavy. It sounds as if it's lifted from 1979. Written again by Jimmy Destry. It's a good single, hit the top of the charts in the UK. I think the reason why it hit was the big hype of Blondie reforming. But it's a good driving song, you know, you can sing along to it, and yeah, I really do enjoy it. Not one of their best. So Maria is number 15. Number 14, and I'm going to go with Island of Lost Souls, the debut single from The Hunter. This has got a very Caribbean calypso feeling to it, with horns all the way through it. I really do like it. I liked it at the time, I still like it. It's a good song, and yeah, it deserved to be a single. So that's my number 14. Number 13 would be maybe a little bit of surprise, and it's the title track of their comeback album from 1999, No Exit. I think this is really good. It's a very haunting song. There's that church organ at the start. It sounds as if it's the start of a real horror film. Yeah, it's a great little number, very gothic, and there's I think she raps in this with, what's his name, Coolio. Now whenever you put rap together with me, it just doesn't work, but this actually does, and you'll find another one really does. So this is my number 13. Number 12, and this is Hanging on the Telephone from Parallel Lines, and this was a single by The Nerve, or a song by The Nerve. I'm not too sure if it was a single, in 1976, so it was a relatively new song, cover version of course. Yeah, it's a good song, it's great, can't argue with it. Hanging on the Telephone, regarded as one of their best singles, and who am I to disagree. Number 11, and I'm going to go with Union City Blue. I think this is the third single. No, it's not, it's the second single from Eat to the Beat. This is just a good classic Blondie song, sing-alongable. Yeah, I don't think it was a huge hit in the UK. I don't think it managed to scrape the top 10, or if it did, it just scraped. But yeah, Union City Blue, and that's number, where are we, number 11. So we're getting into the top 10. And number 10 from Parallel Lines, and I'm going to go with Picture This. And yeah, another very, very good song. Deserved to be a single, deserved to be a hit. Enjoy it a lot. So Picture This is my number 10. Now number 9 is one of their early ones, and I'll have to show this single again. And it's Ex Offender from their first album. I think this is absolutely brilliant, and it always reminds me a little bit of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. It has that feel about it, but this is the highlight of the first album, and it should have been a hit, but it wasn't. It was originally released on Private Stock in 1976. Private Stock was the label at that time for real influential bands like Mud and and I think Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons were on Private Stock. But then they re-recorded it and put it on their first album, and the re-recorded version is far, far better, and to be honest, it should have been a hit, but it wasn't. So that is my number 9. Number 8 is the Gary Valentine written song, I'm Always Touched by Your Presence Dear, from their second album, Plastic Letters. Great little number. This was covered by Tracy Ullman in 1983 for her album You Broke My Heart in 17 Places. It's just a great song, as a Blondie staple. So that's my number 8. Number 7 you may think is a little bit low, and that's Heart of Glass from Parallel Lines. Yeah, the only reason it's a little bit low is I've overheard it. I still do enjoy it, but not to the same extent as I used to enjoy it. I still accept that it's an absolute classic single. It's a real disco beat. My God, Blondie have gone disco. Wow, dear God, what's happened? But I think there is a slight punk edge to this as well, even though it is really a disco song. So that's Heart of Glass is my number 7. Number 6 is probably their catchiest ever song, and this used to be my favourite, but this is Sunday Girl, and this falls into the Heart of Glass category where I've heard it far too much. I still really do enjoy it though, but I wouldn't rush to play it anymore. But whenever it does come on, yeah, this is good. So that is my number 6. Number 5, and this is another cover version, originally by the Paragons in 1967, and this is The Tide Is High. I love this. I hated this at the time. This was around the time of November, December 1980, and I just thought it was awful. But as the time has gone on, I've really got to love this, and I've never got fed up with it. I just think it's a fantastic single, as is the Auto American album. So that is my number 5, and that is The Tide Is High. Number 4, and another sort of great dance disco-y type number, is Atomic, and this is great. You know, the instrumentation on this, it's nearly an instrumental, and this got to number 1 in 1980. This is where their first number 1 of 1980. Absolutely brilliant song, and it's Atomic, the 3rd single from Eat to the Beat. Now number 2, number 3, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I hated this even more than The Tide Is High, but I absolutely love it now, and this is what I mean by rap again. This is Rapture, from Auto American, but released as a single in 1981. Yeah, I couldn't stand this. I really couldn't stand this, but it has so grown on me, and again, I've never got fed up with this. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant song. And by this time, whenever I first heard this, the only rap I really had heard was probably the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, and it just didn't connect with me, rap. It hasn't still connected with me, but I do love the little rap bit in this. Great. So number 3 is Rapture. Number 2 is Blondie hits the UK by storm, and that's Denis. What a single. It's an old song by Randy and the somebody or others. I was nearly going to say Randy and the Weavers there. Sorry, Randall Weaver, if you're watching this. But oh God, I can't even remember. Randy and the something or others from the early 60s. Great number, really is. I absolutely love it, and it's on their Plastic Letters album. And whenever you first saw Debbie Harry fronting the band in 1978, I think this came out, you know, your eyes popped out of your head. You just couldn't believe it. You thought, oh my God. So Blondie had arrived. So that's my number 2. And my favourite Blondie single is from 1979, number 2 hit, and that's Dreaming. I just think this is the perfect pop song. It's a shame it didn't get to number 1, but it was kept off the top by the Police's Message in a Bottle, which is excellent as well. But I would love them to have swapped around for a week or so. But the drums in this are amazing. The melody of this is amazing. It's just the perfect pop song, as I said. I absolutely love it. And that's my number 1 Blondie single, Dreaming. Okay, so that's me ranking the 20 Blondie singles from 1976 to 1999. I hope you enjoyed it. I am thinking of doing some more singles ranking videos. Maybe the Style Council or OMD, or I'm only really doing the ones where I've got a lot of singles off, to be quite honest with you. And a lot of people think I'm a completist. Well, I'm not really. I'm a completist if completing the collection doesn't cost very much money. If the singles are extremely expensive, I am not a completist. For example, there, I would not look out for an original Ripper to Shreds, because it would cost an absolute mint, as does Ex Offender, so that's not worth it. So anyway, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.